Welcome to episode 2 of Introduction to Paranormal Investigations. Today we're going to talk about different types of hauntings.
Soon after World War II, Winston Churchill was visiting the White House. Having had a long bath with a scotch and a cigar, he reportedly walked into the adjoining bedroom and was met by the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. Mr. Churchill is in illustrious company. Arthur Conan Doyle spoke to ghosts through mediums, while Alan Turing believed in telepathy. Three well-respected, otherwise very sane men known for their razor-sharp wit believed in or experienced the impossible. They're not alone. According to recent surveys, close to 40% of Americans believe in ghosts. That's almost half of all of us. And as many as 3/4 of Americans believe in the paranormal, in some form, with nearly 1 in 5 claiming to actually have seen a ghost.
So let's start by discussing the truth. Most of us are all after the same thing. We're all after the truth, right? Many people dismiss your belief in paranormal as mental illness. It's something most people are afraid to talk about. Then again, religious faith is basically the same thing when you think about it. So why do they get a pass and paranormal people don't? Start at the beginning. What exactly is paranormal? Word itself consists of 2 parts, para and normal. The definition implies that the scientific explanation of the world around us is normal, and anything that's beyond that is para. Paranormal activity can be related to basically anything like UFOs, telekinesis, telepathy, healing, witchcraft, Bigfoot, spiritual activity. All those different types of things. But is it real? Since 1922, there's groups who have offered in upwards of $2 million for concrete proof of paranormal in an observed environment with professional debunkers. I mean, these people want to believe, but they're not falling for any tricks. To date, no one has been able to collect those awards. Maybe paranormal activity doesn't like being critiqued, who knows? We chase these paranormal activities down, these events, these places. We want to see it for ourselves and get indisputable proof that there is another side. We want to know. The most common paranormal activity seems to be ghosts and spirits. So let's explain what's going on here. Let's talk about several different types of ghosts and hauntings. So what's the difference between ghost and spirit? Most people use those 2 words interchangeably, but according to the late Hans Holzer, paranormal author and professor of parapsychology, there's a difference. He says ghosts are similar to psychotic human beings, incapable of reasoning for themselves. Some can make themselves known by sighting, but they are also said to be able to speak, change the temperature of a room, or bring a certain odor with their presence. Ghosts are energies that are still connected to the physical world's energy plane. Holzer believed that ghosts may be tied to the location of their death, usually a sudden or tragic one, and they often don't realize that they're dead. Reasons for this may include certain unfinished business in this world. Maybe a recently deceased parent believes he still must provide for his family. Maybe victims of murder seek justice or revenge. Some believe a ghost or a person may linger until the love of its life found another partner. Some ghosts are strongly attached to their home and want to stay to make sure the building's being taken care of properly. You know those type of people. At the end of the spectrum, unfinished business can take the form of a more dark energy, typically known as an intelligent haunting, where a person's death was violent or unexpected. Spirits, on the other hand, are the surviving personalities, per se, of those who pass through the door of death in a more normal fashion. A spirit is an energy that has crossed over into the light and into a different energy plane. Spirits are said to foster positive energy and love, as a paranormal entity sometimes known as a spirit guide. You may have one or more. They may come and go in your life depending on your needs. Spirits won't typically manifest as visible entities, move things, or haunt you. They're said to be pure energy that can communicate with you subconsciously. It's that voice inside your head. Only a small percentage of fully debunked paranormal activities or sightings are true ghosts. The majority of them are really sightings of what we call residual energy, when an emotional event is replayed continually at the same place. For example, one family reported that at a certain time of night, an apparition of an older woman can be found standing by their stove as if she's making tea every night, and then she just disappears every night. Residual energies don't interact with people or show any signs of awareness. People who have experienced these types of encounters typically report the ghosts just pass right through them, don't even know they're there. So let's talk about energy. The first law of thermodynamics, also known as the law of conservation of energy, states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Energy can only be transferred or changed from one form to another. For example, generating electricity or charging a battery would seem to produce energy, but in reality, it's just a change in the state of different types of energy. Thermal, motion, fission, fusion. We're talking already existing energy in one form and transferring it to something different. Energy basically is in everything we touch or think. Our bodies are mostly energy. Billions of electrons spinning around a tiny, almost massless nucleus so quickly that it creates this force that makes us believe there's something actually here. Our brains use electricity to move thoughts across synapses and neurons. There's also something called dark energy, another form of negative energy our senses cannot see or detect. Energy is everything and energy is everywhere. And when we die, the energy our bodies use has to end up somewhere. We're not yet sure how that exactly works. Some people suspect energy has certain penetrable boundaries known as dimensions. Since we don't yet understand those dimensions or planes, how they exist or interact, it is possible that various inexplicable energies can travel among those dimensions or potentially coexist in multiple dimensions. That, my friends, could open the door to energies we know as spirits or ghosts. A common theory about ghosts is that they're an energy manifestation of the souls of once living people or even animals. Some paranormal experts believe ghosts are spirits or energies that cannot reach that final destination for a number of reasons, some of which we may understand and probably many more beyond human comprehension. It's also thought that some ghosts may borrow or share energy from living people or fire or even batteries in some cases. Our investigators have experienced sudden and inexplicable battery drains on some of our electronic devices on more active paranormal investigations. Supposedly, it takes a tremendous amount of energy for a spirit to manifest into an entity that can communicate or interact with people in our dimension. Hence, Father Jesus is my character's secret weapon, his spirit magnet, which is a modified Tesla coil that fills a room with energy and a terrible ozone smell. Ghosts are said to reveal their presence to the living for a variety of reasons. Through that manner, their behavior may be affected by their personality while they were alive. People who lived evil lives might be ghosts that haunt people or places. Shadow ghosts have no clear origins, but they appear as those dark gray to black forms in varying heights. There are also shadow people, considered to be watchers or observers from some other dimension, typically manifesting as tall, dark humanoids having red eyes at times. Apparently, there are ghosts who are unaware of the fact that they're dead. Remember that movie? We said that before, The Sixth Sense? Hey, spoiler alert, Bruce Willis' character continued living as he did while he was alive until he figured it out. Supposedly, some ghost entities are just as startled by the presence of us. They may believe they're real and we're the ghosts. A medium is a person who can often help lost or confused ghosts cross over or leave our dimension by telling them about their death, or passing on a message to a living soul and helping them understand they no longer need to stay in this dimension. Now, there are many different types of hauntings. An intelligent haunting can be pretty spooky. This is defined as the entity capable of communicating or interacting with the living, where things move, and that's where things get really interesting. Demonic hauntings are intelligent occurrences that happen when dark entities haunt people or specific locations. In some religions, demons also are fallen angels. They're quite powerful and intelligent and can manifest in several different forms. Demons have been reported playing pranks on people. In some cases, they're potentially harmful. Haunted people or even items may carry a demon with them, even if they move to a new location. An exorcism performed by a priest or shaman may expel a demon from a possessed body, item, or place. What is a succubus? Succubus is a demon in a female form that appears in dreams and takes the form of a woman in order to seduce a man, usually through some kind of sexual activity. The male counterpart to the succubus is the incubus. Religious traditions hold that repeated sexual activity with a succubus may result in the deterioration of health or mental state or even death. That's easy to understand. Honestly, we've personally never really believed in demonic hauntings. We found their subjects are on the brink of mental collapse even without a haunting. Most likely they've manifested their own visions and experiences, which clearly explains why they're typically very similar to popular horror movies. Ghosts of children are sometimes intelligent. We've seen a bunch of these. They normally mean no harm. It's just they want to play. They're still kids. Demons supposedly can disguise themselves as children, so you got to be careful of that. We're more apt to believe children than demonic humans, so who knows. Poltergeists translate to noisy ghosts, literally, which refers to its apparent ability to make noise, throw around objects, and otherwise disrupt our peace. Somehow these ghosts have the ability to manifest through energy to bite, pinch, scratch, and harass human victims. Some can move, throw, or break objects. Most paranormal experts believe poltergeists have nothing to do with ghosts, but are rather the manifestation of active kinetic energy generated in the subconscious of living human beings. This makes sense because most ghosts can't harbor enough energy to move large objects or break things. But we can. We're on the plane. And poltergeists aren't typically visible the way ghosts are. Rampant hormones and teen angst during puberty just might be the source of the turmoil that feeds the typical poltergeist. Both residual and intelligent hauntings can produce noises including moaning, voices, banging, knocking, or even screaming. Some people report smelling strong odors in places with high levels of paranormal events, including perfume, cigar smoke, or even food. Living ghosts, also known as out-of-body experiences or astral projections, may even result in the encountering of a spirit energy of someone who's still alive. A person may unknowingly leave an energy imprint of a younger self during a traumatic experience. That's another way to realize a haunting. Now, there's phantom ships or vehicles which may manifest using energy shared by its passengers. Ghost ships or apparitions of sunken vehicles are said to foreshadow tragic events. Some people report seeing the funeral procession carrying Lincoln's body back to Springfield after his death. We don't buy into that too much either, but who knows? We don't know everything. Angels, higher level spirits bearing positive energy, but who never lived as humans. Angels are said to protect humans from dark entities, in some cases other humans. Angels theoretically have the power to manifest in the body should they choose to. Guardian angels are spirits with human origins, not as powerful as angels, but still pretty darn useful in many situations. We've seen paranormal events ourselves. Yes, we have. During our investigations, we usually encounter at least one thing we can't debunk or explain. As children, both Victor Pruna and myself felt an intelligent entity which led us on this path to discovery. Their two stories will appear in an upcoming episode or an upcoming book. So those are basically the different types of hauntings. And when you understand these, you can kind of put them into a category and approach them in a different type of way when you attempt to investigate these hauntings.
I have a spirit in my house. And can you tell me anything about him? And I didn't give any names or anything. And she said, well, you're going to think I'm crazy, but it's St. Christopher.
Are there any spirits here that want to communicate with us? Come through and say hello.
Separate the rods if you are St. Christopher.
She's sad. What's coming?
Is it talking about halo, wings, before time? Are you sad for the earth?
July.
Go back to July. So what's going to happen in July?
Now, rapture.
Rapture, yeah.
Can we fix this? Can you make can you make the rod straight? Can we make the world a better place? Will things get better? Make it straight.
Do you have any messages for any of us in this world? Who would you like to speak with, if anyone?
Is your name Arthur? Are you friendly? like to smoke cigars and drink gin.
Are you in here with me right now? Ethel, are you in the large stall or the small stall right now?
When the team was in the ladies' room investigating, something strange happened on the camera in that room. Watch it here. It looked like there was a dimensional shift in time. Is it possible? Well, anything's possible. And then the door was jammed shut for a minute. It wasn't locked. They were able to open it a few seconds later. But still, a coincidence? And watch the orb in the mirror. Two of them in the same direction.
Jump down. Go down into the couch.
120,
Oh
110.
my God, look, she's trying to go down.